This is Kelly Farrell from Geoponics, and I'm talking today with Tim Haskins at the quarry in North Naples. How you doing?
Good.
Can you tell me about the quarry?
Sure. The quarry is a piece of property that's been here for a long time. We're nestled in about 830 acres of preserves. We have about 320 acres of lakes out here, which the big thing being the 275-acre Stone Lake, which is kind of our centerpiece of the property. It was actually a working quarry back in the day. So we actually have a crane that was left from that work that was done out on one of our holes in the back, and it kind of pays homage to what was here in the past. Golf course was designed by Hers and Fry. We've hosted 2 years of the Ace Group Classic, 2009 and 2010.
So not too shabby of a place, huh?
Yeah, really nice.
What type of turf does the course have?
We are wall-to-wall Sea Dwarf Paspalum.
And have you always been, or was that a change?
Nope, that was from the get-go. The developer looked at it as a great tool for environmental sensibility. The attributes of Paspalum, less water, less fertility, really hit home with the theme that they wanted to go with trying to be as sustainable as we could be. So that was the first step in choosing that turf.
And how did you first discover geoponics?
Really, it was just a cold call. Somebody came in, we sat down, had a great conversation. Certainly liked the products, certainly liked what the sales representative had to say. Had really good information, had great backup. It was nice because at that time it was a situation where, if I remember correctly, it was, I'm not trying to sell you anything today, but let's try some products out here. We've really never seen a lot of products. I'd get a lot of products out here that I'd try and just never got to see the results that I saw with Geoponics products.
And when you learned about geoponics, given the type of turf you're using, did it just seem like, wow, just the description of these products sounds like it might be a good fit, or not necessarily?
It really wasn't about the turf. It was more about the soil and what was here before we put the turf on it, because having had it been a quarry and sort of abandoned land, the soil really wasn't sweetened, so to speak. So, we struggled for the first couple of years with a lot of moisture management issues, disease issues. Paspalum is famous for disease pressure. So, it was more about how we can better the golf course as a whole, not just the turf. I mean, obviously the turf is at the end of the day, the turf benefits from it, but unless you have a good soil structure and you're doing everything that you need to do under the ground versus on top of the ground, you're never going to win.
And when Paspalum, you said it's famous for some disease pressure. What are some of the diseases that you've had to deal with?
In the first couple of years, dollar spot was really bad. And I know I worked really closely with the Geoponics rep on how to, and basically Paspalum, because of the density of the turf, really holds a lot of moisture, and what was happening is we just couldn't get that moisture to flush through, and being able to work with Geoponics gave me the ability to flush down so that nothing was sitting up on top, so we were able to help with that. So anything that we can do, again, to alleviate those conditions and strengthen the turf, that's what we're trying to do.
And you're now using the GEGANICS program on your fairways, right?
Yeah.
As a superintendent, can you share with us what changes took place in the particular turf you're using?
Yeah, actually, it was again a little leery of the whole program, but when you're sitting here talking to somebody, it makes sense. But until you actually get out there in the field and see it work, I can tell you that after spraying that, I would say within 5 hours, I was on the phone going, "Wow, I've never seen anything like that." Now, a lot of it had to do with some of the fertility characteristics of it, but the program with having the moisture management in there, I've seen less peaks and valleys with hot spots, and that sort of thing. And I change. There's two products that I change, whether it be the Pantera or Hydrohawk. If I want to, in the summertime when we've got a lot of heavy rains, I'll stay with Pantera to push water through. Versus say in the wintertime when we're kind of in dry conditions, I'm using Hydrohawk to actually hold more moisture in there. So it's nice to have that flexibility. But the fertilizer part of it, I mean, I've used a lot of different products and Paspalum is famous for its dark green color. I mean, it looks like you've overseeded out here during the wintertime. And I've really never seen too many products have an effect on color. And this product did. I mean, it's noticeable from, like I said, within an hour or two, you can see a noticeable change. My members see a noticeable change. And I can honestly say from where I was at this point last year to this year, I'm in a much better spot as far as my color, my density, my moisture management, which again is probably the most key thing for me is that moisture management, so I'm not seeing those peaks and valleys in my fairways. And when I do have situations where a head doesn't come on or it's not working for some reason, irrigation head, and it we don't pick up on it right away because until it starts to brown out, you really don't know. It's quicker to recover than it normally would. So a lot of pluses with that program. We're getting 3 to 4 weeks out of that as far as longevity of that color, which is fantastic. We actually last year we actually used a pigment to spray on the fairways just to add a little bit of color. To get a little bit more color, we won't have to use that this year. There's no reason for it. So
it seems like you're very pleased with the GEGANICS program.
Absolutely.
How do you feel about the service you receive from the company?
Service has been great from day one. Again, I'm not a big fan of cold calls, but for that representative to come in and give me the information that I needed, and it's nice because for me, I mean, he's available almost 24/7. There's not a time where I haven't picked up the phone or shot an email or a text and I haven't gotten some kind of response, whether responding back the way I respond to them or just stopping by. It's been fantastic. I mean, the information, the knowledge that the representative has is key when you're out there looking at a problem. And it's not a situation where the representative will just spout off something if he doesn't know. He's very honest and say, give me a day, let me research this, let me find out, because I'm not 100% sure and I don't know. I know I've got a product for you, but I just don't know which one. So it's not your typical, I'm just trying to sell you something. They're more interested in making the product work to everybody's advantage than just selling a product. It's every golf course is different. Microclimates are different from hole 1 to hole 3. It's just the way it is, and I think if superintendents are really looking into moisture management and the new sustainability issues that are out there, and with the issues that we have with water restrictions, and it's only going to get worse, and I think superintendents really have to start planning now instead of later, and these products will work. I mean, there's tons of products out there. For me, though, these products have worked. I've used other products and haven't seen the results that I've seen with this. So, it's highly recommended. I don't foresee me getting off it anytime soon. It's not to say I won't try other things to see if they may work, but, why mess with something that works? So, sustainability and water management are just going to be huge. And it's not starting next year. It's started 2 years ago. So, we have to be proactive and get on the proverbial bandwagon, if you may.
Great. Thank you so much, Tim.
Mm-hmm.